Welcome to our podcast. Entry, please. What's up, guys?
It has been a while.
It's been a while. It has been a crazy couple weeks.
Yeah, it really has.
We are just now to where we can get back into the groove of things.
Yeah, a lot has been going on. I know, especially for us, and then y'all too. Now with ball season coming up or starting.
Yeah, it's hectic, and then like work is just like going crazy right now, and it's been an extremely busy time. And then you've been gone, and just got back here a little bit ago, and just haven't had the time to meet back up and get a podcast rolling.
Yeah, I left work today, and then came home, then had to go back to work.
Yeah,
for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So we apologize to you guys that listen.
Yeah. We hope you have missed us because we have missed you.
We have missed you very much.
We have missed our 10 followers.
Yes. That's pushing it. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 11.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, we're doing good now.
Yeah. But it's good to get back into it, man. I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed the podcast. I missed the whole going back through it, doing the clips, all that, getting everything edited for you to put out for you guys to see.
I think since we've done our last one, or around that same time frame, I've probably gained like 30 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. When you stop crystal meth, it is life changing.
Kicks in, don't it?
Now I quit taking Adderall. Yeah, I've taken Adderall for I don't know how many years now. Probably like close to like 3 years. And it's crazy. Like I could go all day, and some days I did. I went all day without eating anything.
Yeah.
And then when I quit taking it, it's like I couldn't go 5 minutes without eting anything.
Yeah, it literally just shuts down your hunger.
Yeah. And so like I'm like 30 pounds heavier, but I feel so much better, honestly. Yeah.
That's good. It's good that you don't feel worse.
Yeah.
That you're not addicted.
And it's well, and that's crazy too, because like it's typically addicting for most people. I guess they talk about it being an addictive drug, but like for me, I was never addicted to it. Like I could quit at any moment.
Yeah. Just never wanted to.
Yeah. Now I'm close to the Army considering me overweight. Seriously.
It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is, man.
That was the nice thing about Adderall, is I could eat whatever I wanted
and keep it off
and wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Now I see why meth heads and people are so skinny.
Yeah. It's like that's the sucky part about growing up and like getting older, man. It's like your metabolism, like I had such a high metabolism when I was basically my whole life. I could eat whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And didn't have to worry about nothing, which I was very active. I used to run a lot and all that stuff, and play a lot of ball, and just, I never was one to sit still. And I mean, I'm still not one to really sit still, but it's like, it doesn't matter now. It's like you could eat something and it seems like it catches you immediately. What the?
Gosh, what is that?
It was a mosquito.
Gosh. I wonder what that thing tastes like.
I don't know. I don't think I would eat it. I don't know. No, just lay it over there. We'll get it later.
Oh, it's a snack. I might eat that.
The thing came in. I guess when you came in, I guess it popped up. But it just sucks how you're so used to that, and it's like now it's like a totally different scenario. And you have to really try and watch what you eat. Like, because, through my whole earlier, like, I'm talking, like, senior year to, like, I don't know, till I was probably 20, 21. It's like, it stayed that way. Like, I could still eat what I wanted to, kept it off. You know, I didn't really gain any weight, and I weighed like $180. And then, like around 22, 23, I started putting on a little bit of weight, and then I'm at 32 now, which is crazy to think that I'm only about 25 pounds more than what I was, or 30 pounds more than what I was then.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what I mean? Which I grew a lot too after that time. So it's like I went from 180 like I can't even remember what it was. It's like 210, I think, the last time I weighed, something like that.
Oh, dude, when I graduated high school, I was probably less than 150 pounds.
No.
I was always real skinny.
Yeah.
And then I started lifting weights and stuff, and then some steroids and stuff, and I got up to like my heaviest was like 194.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a big butter bean. I was very strong, but could not run very far or very fast.
But that's the one thing that I wish I could get back.
Steroid.
Well, no. But the metabolism.
Yeah.
Like the way to just burn that off. And it's like I'm still like really active. I'm not running and all that stuff, but I'm constantly moving.
Yeah.
Like every day I probably walk. I think I figured it up one day. I counted my steps on one of those tracker things, and I think I walked like, gosh, if I'm thinking it was like 6 miles, 7 miles in a day. Yeah. Because I mean, you gotta think, I do a whole lot of walk. I mean, I do a whole lot of walking in the morning, like, and like going
like up and down the chicken house.
Yeah, like that stuff, and then like walking from one barn all the way across to the other, and then going back, and then like walking from truck to tractor, like moving from thing to thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
Because typically I walk to go do that stuff, and um, it's just you don't really think of it when you not really have a goal in mind, and like I can tell because like used to when I ran a lot, I would get really bad shin splint.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't even stand to have a high rise sock on, and like because if it was touching my shins, dude, it hurt so bad.
Really?
It was horrible.
You think it was your shoes or something?
No, it was mostly this shin. And see, I had 26 stitches in this leg, and a bar, because a bar went in my leg and like pried out and busted my leg open. And you can still feel it to this day. My shin is like got a bow right there. It didn't snap it, but it's got a bow. You can take and feel it.
What happened there?
I flipped a four-wheeler, and it had on the back rack, it had a little piece of steel that came off the side of it. I guess it was for like a tie down or something. And when I flipped it, that thing got bent out. And when I flipped, I like rolled backwards, and that thing somehow, the way it was bent, it like went into my leg and flipped the rest of the way over. And I didn't know it had happened. I just knew I was like, my leg was like throbbing. And when I looked up and seen it, like I could see my bone and all my muscle and stuff like that. And like I just literally just fell right back down.
Ugh.
And
disgusting.
it like that when I got to the hospital, the worst part of it all was when I got to the hospital, the doctor, because it was full of dirt. And the doctor was like,
it out.
Yeah, I wasn't numb. And he he cleaned his hands and put the gloves on and stuff and like took his fingers and he was digging the dirt out and like flushing it out. Dude, I could have choked that Chinese man.
Makes me hurt.
Just thinking it hurts so bad. And then like when I cut my thumb up, it filled up pretty good though. When I cut my thumb open.
That thing looks massive though.
I know. This big hump right here where it was all busted. When I cut it, I forgot how painful that was. The worst process of it all is them cleaning it.
They didn't numb it first?
They can't numb it before they clean it. They have to get it all clean so they can like inject into the site. So they took like
I thought they would like inject around it.
No, they didn't at this. They were like I was just laying there and he took like a sponge with this antibiotic soap stuff and he said this doesn't burn like alcohol, but it will burn.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there like pried it apart, was sitting there scrubbing down in it, trying to get all the stuff and like get it sanitized. And then the doctor came in and they like, dude, he stuck one shot in of that lidocaine, and he was like that. I was like, that wasn't too bad. He's like, oh, that was just the first prick. And I was like, well, okay. And I was like, I saw like held onto the table a little bit. He's like, this one's probably gonna hurt, and he stuck it in, and he like tried to like what they did was they just numbed the like went all the way around and like numbed this part of my thumb so I wouldn't feel anything. They had to numb the whole end, and when they numbed the whole end, like he stuck one in right here, and dude, I think it hit the nerve right here because it felt like that needle was coming out from under my fingernail, and dude, it hurt so bad, and still I can't feel. What the heck did you just hit?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't.
Oh, that was crazy. It sounded like one of the springs on the boom mic messed up.
Actually, I think it did.
Did it really? I don't know. That's weird.
Maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe you hit that one with your finger.
Yeah, that's probably.
See, because this is like. Yeah. That's
that was you.
Yeah. No, that was you. But I'm just showing you.
Oh, I thought I'd done it again.
Like Jesus. Yeah, see if you hit this side, it would be like
that episode of
we're calling in those gorillas to fight.
Dope. Dude, I've seen that everywhere on TikTok, and I've seen this post. I think it's fake. Well, obviously it's fake, but people are getting these texts like you've been selected 11. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't get one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I ain't sticking him in there.
Yeah.
Actually, they might. Yeah, they might stick me in there.
On the front line.
Yeah. Like, let this idiot go first.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, though. Well, and I seen this one video, this little gorilla cub. I don't even know what you even call them.
A gorilla cub.
Gorilla cub. And it was sitting there. It was like provoking. I don't know. It's like peeking its head in this hole. The next thing you know, this big silverback gorilla just comes charging out of the hole and he slides across the floor.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there. Then he turns around, he bends over and is like, I don't know, shows his butt.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But just like looking how massive it is.
His butthole?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, no.
Is that what you were looking at? Pervert?
That's what everybody was looking at. But seeing how big they are, oh dude. I don't know that 100 people could. Do you think 100 people could take down a gorilla?
100 people in one gorilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What about 10?
10 gorillas?
No, 10 people.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not a fully grown silverback.
I mean, because they're like 10 times as strong as humans, right?
Yeah.
Then you think they have all that fur and like if you punch it in the face, it's probably not even gonna affect it.
No, more than likely. No, I mean they hit each other anyways. Like they punch each other.
Seen those things fight?
Yeah,
that was wild. Imagine getting in the middle of that.
Yeah,
no way.
I mean I don't think there's any chance. Like they could just grab you and throw you like a rag doll.
Yeah.
I mean seriously, 200 pounds of one of those things is nothing.
Dude, if I was one of those 10 people and everyone else has already got torn apart and I'm that last guy.
You'd be the gorilla's wife, wouldn't you? You'd be like, what was that movie? Oh my gosh, what was that movie? It was an old movie.
Mighty Joe Young.
Huh?
Mighty Joe Young.
I don't know what that is.
You never seen that?
No. It's the movie they're in the jungle. Was it Tarzan? No. I don't think it was Tarzan. Yeah, I think it might have been the like the not animated version of Tarzan
with Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the end, that guy ends in the boat with that gorilla.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I haven't seen that in forever.
Kissing it and everything.
That's what I'd be doing. I'd be kissing that gorilla everywhere just to get out of there. Have you seen that one video where somebody's filming this gorilla and he's taking a dump. He's got his hand back there, and he takes a dump in his hand. He just turns around and eats it all.
Yes, I've seen that. That's so nasty. Have you seen that one where that girl is like comes up to the window and is like sitting there looking at him, and it's like it looks at him, and he like leans over and like gives it a kiss, like tries to give him a kiss through the glass. Have you seen that?
No. Yeah. What to do?
No, the gorilla does. The gorilla's sitting there looking at him and goes, he's like, hey, yo!
Oh, dude. I mean, if you were 10 people versus one gorilla, who would you pick to be those 10? Because there's two different ways you could go about it. Well, if you're not one of those 10, if you are one of the 10, you obviously want to pick better. But if you're not one of the 10, you could line up 10 people that you don't really care about and you don't really like, and you would like to see them gone.
Yeah.
But if you are one of those 10, I wouldn't select your local meth head to. Maybe that's the way you go. You dope up a bunch of people.
Have you seen that video of the crackhead versus crocodile?
No.
They fight. It's like on the freeway, and this crackhead's like sitting there, just like in front of this crocodile, and he's just like smacking him. And all of a sudden, that crocodile just like bites a hold of his leg and starts like death rolling. That guy can't get out of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that's what they do underwater, right? They bite you and then they roll like towards the bottom.
They death roll. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't just get your limb out of their mouth.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're not gonna pry it open.
You poke them in the eye. That's what I've always heard.
Poke it in the eye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take your thumbs and push it in their eyes.
I'd be poking it everywhere, trying to get away from it.
Tickle, tickle.
Poke it right in the butt.
Where is the alligator's butt?
I don't think it's on its head. I assume.
I don't know. Because isn't everything on like a reptile like that, like on its belly side?
Yeah, like maybe where its belly meets its tail.
Something like that. I really don't know. You know, what does alligator poop look like? Has anybody ever documented that?
No, I've never seen it. How do alligators mate?
They death roll.
Which
That's what it's called before marriage.
I don't know where their
rolling
sex
into your
organs
death.
are. I don't know where an alligator's sex organs are.
I don't know. But I mean, if you went looking for it, would that be considered bestiality?
Depends on how long you watch.
Or scientific. It's a fine line. Just like the first pervert to milk a cow.
I guess it depends on if you get turned on watching it.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Could you imagine, like, being the first guy to milk a cow?
Yeah.
Ronnie was sucking on her udder.
How'd you figure that out, buddy?
We'll talk about that later, but you try this.
Yeah, come
give this a taste. Put some cocoa bean in there, boy. That's how Nesquik was made. But
that is funny to think about how the first person discovered that. I'm gonna go over and squeeze that thing.
Like, think about a lot of the firsts.
Yeah.
Like, Shane Gillis has the best bit on that. Like, when the founding fathers were like sitting down and like the people in court like were sitting there and they were like coming up with laws and like could you imagine, like, he was like, could you imagine age of consent?
Oh yeah.
He was from Rhode Island, 12. Ew.
What? Yeah, I know what skit you're talking about.
And like dude, could you imagine that? And there's always that one weird pervert in the back, like, come on. But it's like those things, like, you don't think of it in that way. But the people to do a lot of the firsts.
Oh yeah, going first sometimes is not always beneficial.
Like it's a 50-50 between groundbreaking and sick.
Yeah, and life ruining.
Yeah.
You could either be a hero or you could ruin your life.
Yeah, he wrote a 0 in an instant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Being like the first person to go in and face the gorilla. Except that's never gonna go good.
Yeah. I mean, that's like with a lot of firsts. Like the first anything. And I'm trying to think of some others while we're sitting here talking. But I mean, really milking a cow, artificially inseminating an animal.
Yeah, how'd they figure that out?
Yeah.
Because don't you
like there's a few trial and errors there.
Don't you have to put your whole arm?
Yeah, you got to stick your arm. I've never done it. I've seen it done the proper way a couple times at like a ag thing, we went there to watch some guys like inseminating cattle and tagging them and doing like and giving them the all their shots, and we had to go for that for something I can't remember, but I've never seen it. We don't do it personally with our cattle. We just put them with a bull and do it that way. But some people they want the genetics from a certain bull. So instead of selling the bull, the people have a vet come in and get the semen from the bull
I've seen
to
videos
artificially, so that they can get it and send it and artificially inseminate. So you've got the genes from that bull without
Yeah.
paying for the. I mean, it's smart on the person's end that owns the bull, because instead of selling the bull for $5,000, they can take
get a
and
seed perhaps.
for and get so much more money out of it that way. But you have to have like a really, really good. I mean,
It's like
people only want
secretary
good genes. Yeah,
genes.
they only want good genes out of it.
Oh, and the way they have to extract it too.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've not seen that part.
You never seen videos of it?
No, I mean, I probably have. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but it wasn't on like bulls. They were doing it for
Maybe it was
horses.
on a horse. Yeah, maybe it was a horse.
Yeah, they were. It was a horse page where they were like, you see those people that do like hoof trimming and shoeing and
I've
all.
been watching a lot of those lately.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate horses, but I mean, stuff like that's interesting.
Yeah, I've been seeing. I don't know why, but I've been seeing a lot of those people who like trim hooves and stuff like that, and they're cutting out these big abscesses and stuff. It's like oddly satisfying. Really?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I don't know why it catches the attention of so many people, but it is. It's fascinating.
I think it's along the same lines of like watching people pop pimples and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that
You ever watch them pop abscesses on cows' legs?
Oh, not on cows' legs.
I've seen that. Like they take a scalpel and you'll have the cow sitting there and you'll just take and like stick the scalpel in and pull it across real quick and make like a 4-inch incision. And dude, it starts just spraying out, and it is the most horrid smell. Oh my gosh, because it'll be like a huge lump. Like I'm talking, look like a basketball on their leg. And it's just all soft and mushy, and then you take and just put that in there at the bottom so it'll drain out. And I mean, it is just, oh my gosh, dude, I can't explain the smell.
Oh, imagine like
it's horrible.
Imagine you go to pop one, or you do pop one, and it's it starts squirting out, and like you have your mouth open, and
that's why you pop it from the bottom,
and it just squirts you like right
in
the mouth.
You would.
Oh, I want to puke just thinking about it.
It's dude, and like I said. I mean, you can see the cow that starts shaking its leg, but you can tell like the instant relief from pressure.
Yeah.
And oh man, it is just
yeah. It's like when you get an ingrown like toenail or something. It's like so swollen up and tight, but like once you finally pop it, or like pop that little bubble of infection, like all that relief.
How do you do that?
Most of the time it's on accident.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll make myself. I fight through it. I'll sit there and I'll take fingernail clippers and I'll like cut it.
Yeah,
and I'll cut it down as far as I can go. Yeah. And I'll take I'll take a pair of tweezers and I'll sit there and I'll just grab and twist until I pull it out. Oh. And then I take my finger and I'll stick it on the side it is, and I'll push down real hard and push up, and it'll just start oozing.
Yeah, most time I'll get like a needle or something. Yeah, and push down in there. One time I had one really bad in high school. And it was really swollen, but I want to say like maybe I didn't have one on both sides, but it hurt. We were playing basketball in the gym, and somebody, I was still able to run around and stuff.
Stepped on it.
Somebody stepped on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and it hurt at first, but it felt so good. Yeah. I'm so glad they stepped on it.
It's like a bruise. You want to push on it.
Yeah. Oh, and then once they did, like all that pressure was relieved. My sock was like bloody and stuff, but oh, dude, it was like just the biggest. Relief.
Yeah. It's weird how that stuff is.
I like watching those videos too.
But it's just like, you gotta, I guess it's kind of like I guess it's where people get the metaphor of like, you gotta get through the pain to get to the good parts, because like, it's so painful doing something like that. But once you do it, you feel so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's kind of how, I don't know why I went that route.
I'm the same way though. Like I'll sit there and dig, or if I have a splinter or something, like I'll dig and dig.
Yeah.
I'll probably create way more damage to myself than what the splinter actually did, just trying to get it out.
Yeah, I took my own stitches out. I don't like doctors.
Took it out too early, didn't you?
Well, according to my thumb, I didn't. It was really swelled up, but now
Yeah, it
it's
was.
actually pretty normal looking for as big of a hunk of meat that was like cut out. Like, I mean, you can see it. It went from here all the way across up to here.
Yeah, because on Easter it was really swollen.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. And then I got a piece of, I was welding and I got a piece of hot weld. It got in my finger
Ugh.
and melted into my finger.
Oh gosh.
And dude, it hurt so bad. And I couldn't figure out why. I was like, because I had got it out. I'd had that happen before, but like I took immediately, like obviously, as soon as it happened, I took and like started like scratching my finger and like got it out because it's burning so bad.
Shoot, yeah.
And I took and got it out. And like 2 weeks later, it was all swelled up, and I was like, "What in the world?" And it was like super tender, and I was like, "That should have done healed."
Still
Because it was like a basically like a 3rd-degree burn, in there, and I was like, "Man, that hurts." And I just happened to take, and I was like, "What is that?" And I saw a scab, so I took and like put it in my mouth and bit it, and I felt it pop, and that junk shot in my mouth. Oh, dude, it was nasty.
Gosh,
but I didn't expect that at all. Like I didn't know that's what that was. And then I took and like started like pushing up on it.
What
and
was your first thought to bite it?
I was trying to get that scab off.
Oh,
I
got some tweezers
because I thought that there was like I was in the middle of my shop.
I'm
not the person to wait. So I just like bit down on it. What I did is like you felt it just popped.
Oh.
It was nasty. Yeah, it was disgusting.
That's gonna make me gag.
Yeah, but then I went home and got a needle, dipped it in alcohol, and I poked a needle in it like 8 different spots in the bottom, and I just kept squeezing it, and it drained. And then 2 days later, or no, a week and a half later, it all swelled back up again. So I took and squeezed it again, and a bunch more stuff shot out of it. So I took a needle and literally dug into my finger and like just stuck it all the way through it, so it was on both sides, and I just twisted it until I busted all the skin off. Oh. We're not pussies around here.
You just took an angle grinder to that thing.
Well, I thought about cutting it off. I'm like, what do I need this thing for? A party trick. Where's the rest of your finger? Pull it out of my pocket.
I used to work with this guy. He was missing like just about all of his ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I was fracking oil, he had dropped I wasn't there when he done it, but he dropped this 90-pound piece of iron like on his finger.
He cut it off.
He said it took it clean off. I was like, it hurt? He's like, yeah. Like, yeah, it hurt. I couldn't imagine.
But I mean, why didn't he go to the hospital and get it put back on?
I don't know. This guy wasn't really the brightest either. Not saying that's why he didn't, but I'd say it
probably was a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll get him every time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
What part of your body do you think you could, if there was one part of your body you think you could remove and be just fine? Like, or if you had to lose one limb or part of your body, what would it be?
If I had to lose one limb, I would much rather lose a leg than an arm.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because you can get a fake leg, but by like one of those prosthetic leg things.
Yeah, be like little tink. Yeah.
Yeah, and and some of those guys have like those bouncy legs, and they can you can jump.
Bouncy leg. Oh,
you ever see them with the like spring action they use to run?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that would be I mean, I don't want to lose one at all, but
yeah,
that
would be the same.
If okay, if you could wish for your wife to lose
where this is going.
one ability of hers, what would it be?
If she could lose
one ability, one thing that she does very well.
To lose one thing that she does very well.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't know which one. To lose one ability that she does very well.
I can tell you mine right off the bat.
What?
Run her mouth. She's a professional. And if she didn't have that ability, our lives would be smooth sailing.
Oh, dude, that's a tough one. I don't know what Just like a good or a bad ability?
Either one. I don't consider running her mouth a good ability.
Oh,
I love her to death, but
yeah, I don't know which one I could go without. I do know I would take away
she could make Jesus cuss.
probably her gag reflex.
I mean,
She just gags easy.
have you seen?
Just
Okay,
gets sick and gags easy.
you say that. You say that. There's a. Have you seen that video of that woman? I don't. There's a woman on TikTok. Her husband. She like apparently if she hears anybody gag, she starts to gag.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen? He's always going around like just fake gagging.
Yeah.
And she starts like gagging, almost throwing up. It would be so annoying to have.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you know how? Oh my gosh, dude, that would be miserable.
Yeah, just to hear the slightest, or something nasty and instantly just start throwing up.
Yeah, I've never been that way, and it's like that's like with blood. Like when I seen my thumb, I was like, I was gone. I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna pass out. I cannot see my own blood. Can't do it.
All I can picture is
Like
a
this,
boat.
like this instance. Now, like if I've got a cut, like like just a regular, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But like if I see a lot of blood and like I can feel me like lose, you know what I'm saying? You can feel yourself losing the blood.
Yeah.
Out of that spot.
You get like all lightheaded and stuff.
Oh, dude, I was laying in the floor. I was seeing stars. I was laying. I was getting ice packs. I told Kate, I told her, I said, oh my gosh, I was like, you got to get me a drink. And she like got me a Diet Coke. I don't even like Diet Coke. And she started pouring it down my mouth when my eyes were closed. And I was like, Jesus Christ, you're going to waterboard me. That woke me up. But
oh god,
I mean, in the most helpful way, she was killing me.
All I can picture, or I can think,
Get better. While you drown in a living room.
All I can picture, or all I can think about, is that time we were fishing. Is me, you, and Seth, and one of us.
Oh yeah, Seth hooked my head.
He was using a spinner bait too, and Cody,
you were right in my temple.
Weren't you in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went to cast, and when he did,
I done
Cody
told him
right in the head.
3 times. I said, do not rear back like that and cast. Rear back the opposite side. I was running I was on the back because I was running the trolling motor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was running the trolling motor. And he freaking reared back and hooked me right in the head.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have seen us trying to get that thing out.
I finally yanked it and pulled it out.
Yeah.
Instead, tried to downplay it. He's like, dude, it was just in your head. I was like, it was in my head just enough to get the barb hooked in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the barb was in there.
Because he pulled.
Yeah. And all we had was this little rusty knife. It looked like
these rusty pliers.
You could get.
Didn't have a knife.
We had some kind of little.
Oh yeah, that was right. There was an old rusty knife laying in the.
It couldn't have been more dull.
And y'all were sitting there trying to cut the barb out of my head with a rusty knife.
You could have got better service in a street in Taiwan or something.
Oh gosh. I mean, finally you yanked it out because Seth was like trying to be gentle. And like I was leaned over the boat, like throwing water in my face because I was about to pass out. I felt it. Because y'all were pulling it. Dude, it felt like y'all were pulling my brain through my temple.
Oh,
like it hurt so bad.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, dude,
wasn't so much funny at the time, but it was hilarious. Well, and it was still kind of funny too.
Yeah. And then I went to the doctor. It says like you need to go to the doctor. I was like, I'm not going to the doctor. And I went to the doctor. Like I went for something else. I can't remember. And I asked him. I was like, I got a question. I was like, I had a hook in my head back about 3 weeks ago, and I was like, it was rusty. I was like, they was like, how'd you take it out? I was like, with a rusty pair of scissors, or with a rusty knife and a pair of pliers. And she was like, is it infected? I was like, no. I was like,
you pull your hair back and there's a big hole.
It was like, it's just a little spot and you can see my skull. But it was like, they were like, well, we just we would just treat it. And I was like, "Have you been doing anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been treating it with peroxide and alcohol, cleaning it." She's like, "Well, I mean, honestly, as long as it's not infected, you're doing everything right." I was like, "That's what I thought."
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
rough one.
We took that little boat. Me and Seth did. He was like, "Let's go to the lake." We took it. We took that little thing on the lake, with a trolling motor.
Green River Lake?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I still got that boat.
It's a one oh yeah, I seen it down there.
We took it out. Me, Kate, and the kids took it out last year, and well, we
Back
took it
to
out
the lake?
No, we just took it down Green River. We took it out 2 years ago, and we started floating. I was like, huh. I started looking around, and I was like looking down, and like I was like, man, this boat seems to be getting awful low. And I looked, and there was water coming in, and I was like, we were like 30 minutes into this float, and I was like, huh. And so I start looking around, and I was like, I mean, obviously I'm in the middle of the river. Like, what am I going to use to plug it?
Oh, you didn't put the drain plug in?
No, the drain plug was in. It was a fiberglass boat, and where it had sat out, and where the back end of it had sat, where the sun could hit it through the years, it weakened it like at the bottom, like almost dry rotted it, and put a small hole, like the size of a pencil eraser, in it. And it just got real thin, and it wore.
Yeah.
And it started taking on water. And it was taking on water fast. Like my battery, that was where my battery sat and my trolling motor was mounted at.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, and the first thing I thought of was National Lampoons when Clark Griswold was taking gum and filling in the cracks of the Hoover Dam. You remember that?
Yeah.
We had a pack of, I'll never forget, Mott's gummies. I took the gummies. We pulled up on the gravel bar. I took and raised the boat up, found the hole. I cleaned it out and I put it back in there and made sure that's where it was coming from. I shoved a gummy from the outside in and like put 2 or 3 of them there. And then I took 2 or 3 of them and shoved them on. We floated for another 45 minutes and I never took on any more water. Swear to God. And
those things are still there today.
And then went home and put some epoxy on it all across that bottom end, and then took and put Flex Seal on it.
Oh yeah.
And we went and floated last year on an 1.5-hour float. Good to go.
Still there.
Still there. It's laying down there in the sun again. But that thing, it's like, it was one of those really, really light boats. Like it couldn't hold but like 300, or I think the max on it's like 600 pounds. So like when you put, now if you put like all 5 of us on that boat, and like a cooler and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's like it's too much. So it's like which I don't float enough.
Yeah, I haven't floated in
to do that. I would rather have a couple kayaks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, kayaks are so just
I'd like to have one of those pedal ones.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Like my uncle has some. We always borrow we have an annual float trip of the church.
Mm-hmm.
We always go. We always borrow those. And it took me a couple trips to realize that the first time I ever went kayaking, my brother was in like a big 10-foot kayak, and he was it's like he would row once and he's 500 yards down the river. I could row 72 times and I've made it 8 feet.
Yeah.
But I was in like a little 8-foot kayak.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the longer the kayak, the easier it is. I was like, well, that makes no sense. But yeah, by the end of it, I was wore out.
That's one thing I always loved about the trolling motor, man. You just turn that sucker on wide.
Oh yeah,
and I could just cruise.
Yeah, me, my dad, and my brother, when we were little, we would always float. And like there was this one place. Now you know what they call it, Muskie Holler. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's one spot on the river. But we'd have life jackets on. He'd tie a rope to us, and he'd just drag us through the river.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Loved it.
Didn't know what was in the water.
That's like the kids, like like they like to get out, and like we've thought about taking floats before, and like letting like press and like just sit on the float, like just be tied to us, and just float down. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, what's more relaxing than just sitting in a float, just laying back, just floating down the river, dude? There's nothing more. Well, I hope the 9-year-old is not drunk. It's just,
oh no,
Baba might be a little bit random, no, but it's just like there's nothing more relaxing than floating a river.
Yeah,
I mean, like you go about 5 o'clock in the summer, and like put in and go on like a 2 hour float.
Yeah.
And like you go down by like Dairy Queen and go like under the bridge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, you can just hear the cars and like the shades over the river and the cool breeze coming off of the river. And dude, you're just sitting back chilling. It is so comfortable.
Yeah, it is.
Go down through there, slow down, do a little bit of fishing.
I never catch anything through there.
I don't either.
It's like so fished out.
I never catch anything in the river. I've never been able to catch anything. I've caught a couple fish in there, but I mean, it's just the relaxing part of it, you know. And like you have no cell phone service. Nobody can really get a hold of you. Like, so you can just put your phone up and just coast. And you ain't got to talk to nobody.
Yeah, there is a certain level of peace that comes with that.
For sure.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
And that, I don't do that much. I mean, we used to go a lot when I was younger, but I wasn't fishing and I wasn't going with my family.
Yeah,
but you know,
we would always float. Growing up, we would we would float the river all the time. We were always floating the river, and it was always me, my dad, my brother, and I always had to sit in the middle, and I would always get hung up.
Yeah,
all the time. And it got to the point like there was one time we were fishing, and I got hung up in this tree, and it was probably like the 17th time I'd been hung up, and I was so scared to tell my dad. And we just kept on floating, and here I hung in this tree, just letting my line pull out. And I was like, Dad, I'm. He's like, where are you hung at? About 100 yards back up that way. And we just ended up having to cut it.
As you get older, did your dad ever like get mad and like yell at you for doing something, like
no,
like messing up repeatedly on something?
No.
Oh well.
Cody.
I got yelled at a lot when I was a kid. I mean, and now I look back on a lot of it was justified because I did do a lot of stupid things. I wasn't the easiest child to raise, let's just say that. I was a child that liked to wander. Like I would wander off. My grandpa taught me how to drive when I was 6. And I mean, I would get in everything and drive off. And like there was one time like my parents were looking for me and they couldn't find me, and I just like went off the in the holler behind the house, and we had a bunch of feeder calves, and there was like 25 of them, and I was like 7 years old, and there was like it was probably about 6 acres in there, and it was just straight down and flattened out. And there was a barn right here in the middle of it, and then it was kind of a uphill. It wasn't too steep, but it was like uphill.
Yeah.
And like my dad thought I was with my mom. My mom thought I was with my dad. They hollered for me. They couldn't find me, and my bike was nowhere to be found.
He's done run away.
And they found my bike. It was around the corner of the house, and they started hollering for me. And finally, Dad was like, I would go down to that barn a lot.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's got to be at that barn. And so he went down to that barn, and they didn't even have to go to the barn because I was running those calves down the hill. And I would get them down the hill, and I'd run them up the other hill, and then I'd get at the top of that hill and just run them back down. That's all I was doing. And I got on top of our roof, and I would jump off of our roof a lot. And what else?
Can't do it now.
I used to get, heck no. I used to get a little red wagon, and I would take it to the top of the hill, and I would sit in it, and I would pull the handle all the way up, and I would steer going down the hill. And dude, you would get up to like 20 mile an hour.
Just
like you
roll,
were rolling.
Little red flag.
Oh, dude, I was flying down through there in that thing. And it's like now,
probably having a blast too.
Oh, I was having time of my life. One time, my dad's pissed off the neighbor kids, and they shot him in the back with a BB gun. I'll never forget that. And then that said neighbor kid came down to the house, and I remembered that, and we were wrestling, and I put him in a suplex, and I broke his ankle. Yeah,
Like,
did
that's what you
that.
get.
Uh,
You don't mess with my dad.
yeah, and then one time my sister came in my room and got mad because I wasn't helping her with the laundry, and little did she know I was actually putting my clothes up that my mom had folded, and um, she comes in there and smacks me. It told me to get in there and help, so I pushed her down, and I stomped on her ankle and snapped it. And one time we were playing cops and robbers, and in I gave her a bicycle and I got a motorcycle. And I chased her. She obviously couldn't outrun me, and I chased her into a barbed wire fence. And she had to go to the hospital and get stitches.
Oh, so many good times.
What else? I mean, there's multiple times like that. We never got along as children.
It's like you look at like when you're younger and the things you would do, and it's like you could be entertained by like the simplest things, like that little red wagon.
Dude, yeah.
Like
Loved it.
It didn't take nothing to entertain.
It makes me so mad. Now, having kids of my own, that they take so much to be entertained. Like,
yeah,
I had Nintendo. We didn't have Xbox when we were that young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't have that kind of stuff. We didn't get that stuff till we were like 13, 14, which at that age, you expect like every kid to like get like want to be away from their parents
yeah,
a little bit. You know what I mean? So like they want to go to their room, play Xbox, or do something like that with their friends, or like go to their friend's house and stay, or like go like sometimes I would go like I would like to go full with stuff, like try and work with stuff and stuff
yeah.
like I mean every
more
kid's
independent.
yeah.
Yeah,
And but man, like now like the kids like the littlest thing, like they're hollering. Like I need you to help me. I need you to come in here and do this.
Oh
I
yeah,
need you to come in. I'm like, listen, when I was your age, it was either figure it out or don't do it.
yeah,
Like I didn't get help because like my parents didn't know how that stuff worked.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I just don't understand. I'm like, learn to do it yourself. Like I'll help you, but try.
Yeah.
And they don't even want to
Um,
try.
I was
Dude,
always
it
the
makes
same.
me so mad.
Like I would always help them, like with whatever it was. Like I would always help. Like here, let me show you how to do this.
Yeah.
And even sometimes without them asking. But I watched this video or something, and this guy was talking about, like how are your kids gonna ever develop, problem solving skills if you're always there
Yep.
solving it for them.
Yep.
And I was like, that makes so much sense. I don't know why I never even thought about it.
Yep.
So now, like, if they ask for help, and if it's something that I know they can figure out,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you figure it out.
I even do it with stuff they can't figure out. And it's not because I'm being mean.
Hang this shelf on the wall.
It's because I want them to think to like their fullest ability.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if your fullest ability is a lower than
Critical thinking skills.
others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want you to do your best and get as far as you can. And then when I see that they've tried to actually do it,
Yeah.
then I'll take and be like, okay, here's how you finish the rest of it. Here's how you do the rest of it. But like even with that, like they always, which I mean, I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that they want me and Kate like around. Like I'm thankful that they like have fun with us, and I understand that that's not gonna be forever.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just so annoying, and I mean, like, I'm not the best at that. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am, but I mean, it's so hard to just like coming like how my childhood was. My parents were there. Yeah, I'm not saying they weren't, but like I just did stuff independently. Like I never asked my parents to do anything with me. Like I always did it myself. Like if I wanted to play ball, I went out there and played ball. Every now and then I would ask my mom or dad to pitch to me because I couldn't pitch to myself or something or whatever, or they would come outside and play horse or something, But like,
I feel like kids nowadays are less curious.
Yeah.
And like I know, like, whenever I was a kid, like, I was curious about everything,
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wonder if that fence will shock you.
Yeah.
Then you find out it does.
Yeah.
It's things like that. And that's, one way we learn,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Consequences of doing it,
but
but
it seems like kids nowadays are scared to go try,
yeah.
or they're
Dude,
just less curious. I was always wondering like how things work.
oh, dude, I was never afraid to do
Like
something.
always take stuff apart. Never
Yeah.
could get it back together.
Yeah.
Still not the best at it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like if you don't like, that's like okay, like building building a house, building an addition, building something. I
Yeah.
never really knew how to build. My dad could build, but he built all the stuff that we had before I was of age to do anything. We didn't really build anything
Yeah.
after, that I got older, so I never really learned that trait. So I like wanted to learn that stuff myself. And for future, just in case I wanted to build something. And like I started working on the house and I was like, I'm gonna try and do some of this myself. So like I did, like it was small stuff, but I mean like I did all the dirt work. I did the dirt work all myself. I dug every bit of this out. I did all the grading, all the leveling, everything, and I did a pretty good job. I don't have any water coming in the basement ever. Like I've in this part, I have none. Even
Yeah.
unless it rains like 8 inches of water, like what we had there a while back on massive floods. Like you can't keep water out.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Gosh, yeah.
But
It's like you gotta start somewhere though.
exactly. And like I did, which I had done, I knew how like dirt work stuff went. So that was just like a portion, but I never dug like a foundation and all that kind of stuff. I'd never done that. But I did that. And then like I did the trim, I hung the doors, um, I did the flooring, I did all the plumbing, I did all that stuff. And, then got up to like building walls and
Yeah.
those kinds of things.
Start small and then
Yeah, and it's like amazing now. What I look back on that, and I'm like, for how much money I saved was like ridiculous. And like the first where I first started at, yeah, it didn't look as professional as what it could have, but I went back and I like touched that up once I knew what
Yeah.
I was doing wrong. And and then when I got to the main parts, I knew what I needed to do and how it was going to look, how I wanted it to look.
Yeah.
And so when I finished it off, I mean everything looked exactly like somebody had came in and done it, like that knew what they were doing.
Yeah. And those are like skills and stuff that you could pass on, to your kids
Exactly.
and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like in our other house, yeah, like I watched enough YouTube videos. I'd never once gutted a bathroom, never knew anything about it. And then one day I decided I was going to, so I went and got all the stuff, and I just went in there and ripped everything out.
Yeah.
I got it all out, and I was like, I've made a huge mistake. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I figured it out, got it all back together. And I don't know, sometimes I think it's just taking the risk and trying it.
Yeah.
It's not always going to work out, perfect the first time, or maybe sometimes it does. But it's like that cliche saying, you never know unless you try it. You're never going to learn unless you try it.
Exactly.
And it seems like kids nowadays, or even just society, like would rather pay somebody to do something
than do it themselves.
Yeah, instead of learning to do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never drywalled, and like I did that wall there, and I mean, I've got a few spots that I need to like. I haven't had time, but like I need to go down and re-mud, and I just need to add another coat of mud on.
Yeah,
and sand it, and it's just got some dips and divots in it and stuff. But I mean, the wall and the drywall is all good. It's just it needs to be it needs to be sanded and touched up. I mean, I consider most people are like if they don't do it perfect the first time, it's like I'm not going to do it. I could have paid somebody to do it.
Oh yeah,
you could have, but like by the time you figure out how much money you saved and the fact that you taught yourself how to do something. Like, look at how much you're going to save the next time you decide to, hey, I'm going to do this, and I don't need to hire anybody. I just need to save up the money for the materials, and then I can do it myself.
Yeah. And
even if it takes a little bit longer.
And if I did pay, like if I do pay somebody to do something, or if I have in the past, like I always pay attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And try and like ask questions. That way, next time something like that comes up, I'm like, well, they done this. Like I think I can do it.
Okay, like I can't be the only way. I can't be the only one that acts like this. But like, do you feel like a lazy,
Yes.
freaking just no good person when somebody's at your house working doing something and you're like not helping them?
Yeah.
Dude, I have to stand there. I'm like, do
Oh
you need
gosh.
anything? Like, I mean, I can do a lot of stuff. It's like, no, it's all right. I got it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I did pay you to come here, but I also need to do something.
Dude, one time, whenever we lived, the house across the road from my dad's,
Yeah.
Jared's old house.
Yeah.
We were living there, and this was like 10 o'clock in the morning, but we had paid for dish, and they were coming out to install it, and I was drinking Budweiser's,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was early in the morning.
It was 7 a.m. I was eating eggs.
Well, the guy comes out, and he's working on it and stuff. I was like, "Can I get you anything to drink?" I was like, "Beer." I kid you not. He was like, "Yeah, I'll take one." I was like, "Okay, great." So I went and got him a beer, and so we were both drinking beer, and he's sitting. I'm talking to him while he's installing it, and then he finally got it done. He's like, I was like, "Well, dude, thanks." I was like, "Do you need anything before you go?" He's like, "Yeah, can I get a couple road beers?"
My
I was
God.
like, "You certainly can." And I kid you not, I gave him those 2 beers, and he took off. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy is awesome. I don't condone drinking and driving, but
Oh, man. Oh, shoot.
I mean,
Fire.
he was in need and I was in supplies.
I
But it blew my mind that he took that. 'Cause I wasn't expecting him to
actually do it.
actually do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he did. It's like this guy is a sawn off human.
Like, you know, um, there's a lot of times, and you think of like Amish and stuff. Like, I don't know where I'm going, where I came from, Dish Network to Amish. Those two do not mix. But um, the the only kind of Dish Network they got, I guess, is watching their wives come together and wash dishes. But
Ooh, look at Tammy scrub that pan. She does such a good job.
but it's I went in gas stations before in like Amish country, and they like pulled up in their buggies, and I swear to God, I've watched those guys walk out with 30 packs of Bud Light
Oh yeah.
going into their buggy. And how can it be drinking and driving if the horse is driving? Think about that. How can you get a DUI in a self-driving car? Think about that. I think that's why they're doing it. I swear.
Driving cars.
Yes, I swear that's why they're doing it. In about, you give it 6 years, and the self-driving will be, right now it's only on the high-end cars. Like, like the
Teslas and
like
stuff.
Tesla. Well, Chevrolet has it. I'm saying like it's on the high-end trims. Like you can get Chevrolets. It's called, is it Super Cruise? I think it's called Super Cruise. Or Chevy Cruise. I can't remember. But Ford has it. All these car brands have it. And it's on their higher end trims, and it's got the full self driving. Like you can let go of it, a gas vehicle, whatever. Just let go of it.
I'd
drive.
be so nervous. I don't think.
Oh, dude, I'd go to sleep.
But I feel like that's got to be way safer than.
That's what they're wanting. I mean, obviously, but
I remember one time we were.
Good day.
We were coming back from a party, and I wasn't drinking. I was driving your truck, and you were past the point of sobriety, and I was driving. You're like, dude, slow down. Dude, you got to slow down. You're going to wreck. I was going like 35 miles an hour.
I was being cautious.
Don't wreck my truck.
Oh, shoot. But, like, yeah. But I think that what was I saying? I think like in 5 years, Mac, they're going to have full self-driving. Like for like everything. Like any car you get is going to come with it, because it's going to get to the point that you don't drive your own truck or your own car unless you opt out. Like you're like, are you drive? It'll be like you get in and be like, are you driving today? And be like, yes. And like I think you'll always like back out of where you're at and like get to like the interstate or the roadway, like out of a parking lot or something. And then like it's gonna give you the option. It's gonna like, do you want Super Cruise to take over, and you could hit like yes, and it'll pull out of the parking lot, drive you everywhere. I think that's coming. I think that they're doing that to prevent
That's scary.
well, when you go to big cities, they already have Waymos.
What is that?
It's self-driving cars that has no driver and they pick you up.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I know it's what that was called.
and I mean, it's like super safe to a degree. If they're all on the road and they're reading off of one another, it's safer than those reading off of a human because it's hard to get a human's reaction. Like, what are they going to do? A computer can communicate with itself in this car and it detects another one and it'll send some kind of signal. If it's going to turn, this other car is going to know that this one's going to turn. Or if it's going to merge into a lane, the other car is going to know it's going to merge into a lane. You know what I mean? But like, with people are unpredictable. Like, you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I think of that. Have you ever seen that movie? I wish I could. It was like, Take Me. I don't know. It's something about this family. They go on this vacation, and then while they're on vacation, it's like the whole, power grids go down, and all
like
the
a zombie movie.
Well, it's like it's just like a big not so much natural disaster, but like hackers hack into stuff. All these self-driving cars are all going to the same point, and like they're crashing straight into each other.
I know what you're talking about. I've not seen the movie, but I've seen
I can't remember what it's called.
A clip of that.
That's what I think about. And there's got to be vulnerabilities to like that. Like, I feel like if somebody wanted to, they probably could hack into
100%. Yeah. They could hack into any kind of technology that you have.
Oh yeah. Dude, it is crazy. Like, there's probably nothing they could hack into your vacuum cleaner.
They could. I mean, dude, they can hack into anything. Anything that's on your Wi-Fi network, they could hack into.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and it is scary. It makes you kind of want to live off the grid. Makes you want to go back to a Motorola Razr.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. You say that. I was looking at Motorola Razrs 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about getting rid of my phone and ordering a Motorola Razr and going back to that.
Oh, dude, it'd be so much.
No joke. Because these new smartphones, they're just like, I mean, they're just gay. Like, they don't have, like, they're like, I don't like them. And like the new flip phones and stuff like that. Like, I looked at one before I got, like, when I got rid of my iPhone, I almost didn't get another smartphone.
Yeah.
I almost just got a flip phone. And, but I'm like, when you're sitting there trying to do something and you need to like look something up and you're in the middle of, say in my instance, I'm in the middle of a field and I need to look up if somewhere has a part.
Yeah.
I can pull it up on my phone.
It's so convenient.
It up. Oh my gosh, dude. And it's like, I feel like if you get rid of that, like, you feel like you're getting more simplistic, but honestly, nowadays, you're making your life so much tougher than what it has to be. And I mean, that's the point of it too, but it's like you want to go back to a simple way of things. But then again, it's like you're going to miss, it's not the social media and stuff and all that stuff, I'll admit. It's just the fact of being able to look stuff up and watch a YouTube video, you to do something, dude. Dude, yeah. I would. I love Marketplace.
If Marketplace was gone,
I write people all the time.
I don't think you or your dad would be able to survive.
I haven't done it in a
while.
while.
Stays on Marketplace.
Oh, dude, he thrives on it. But I used to sit on there and just write people. They'd be like wanting I'd lowball them, and I would just see what I could find. And some things I picked up on, I got them, but other things I just pissed people off.
I'll give you $500 for that 2024 Silverado.
Yeah. There was a guy on there here the other day that had a truck just like mine. It only had 30,000 miles on it. He's asking $16,500.
Duramax?
Yeah. What? Yeah, it had 30,000 miles. It was a water title, and the main control board in the floor got wet. And I was going to buy it, and the control boards are like $800, and you can get them programmed for like 100 and something. And I was going to buy it, and but I rode him, And by the time I'd rode him, he'd done sold it. It was a
I bet.
freaking steal of a vehicle. It was LTZ. It was leather loaded up, Duramax
Dang.
diesel.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
it was a heck of a
30,000
deal.
miles.
32,000 miles. Crew cab, gray dust.
And it ran. I mean, it would run and drive the way it said, or
no, it would crank, but it wouldn't turn over. It would crank, but it wouldn't start, and the interior lights wouldn't come on. And that control module in the floorboard was what there's those control modules in there. That's what controls, like, when you hit the key. If the main computer's on, it's going to recognize that things are on, and it goes through the cycle of reading like your ECM, your PCM, your your BCM, your ABS mod. It reads all those modules.
Yeah.
To make sure everything's connected with one another. And if you get a dead connection in one of them, well, it's going to cut out certain things. So, like, if you get a bad module in your floorboard that controls your cranking, your interior lights, your brake light, all that stuff, it's going to, so you replace those modules.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
that's a steal, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because that's like clean title, that's like a that's like a $52,000 truck.
That is
For
somebody made some money off that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I said. I was like, you could buy that truck and still spend $14,000 on it.
And you're still coming out ahead.
And you're still coming, and you could sell it and make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like, I try to always look at something I could buy and make $1 on. I bought one truck one time that was out of Missouri, and the guy told me that it was a Southern truck. And I took his word for it because it was a big dealership.
No rust.
Yeah. And I brought it in, and it had a lot of surface rust. It was from New York. It had 75,000 miles on it.
You literally almost can't get more north.
I know. And I spent like, oh my gosh, I spent like 4.5, 5 hours. I was underneath. It didn't have any rust on the body. It had one little spot on the body that had started. But underneath, it was on the frame, and like didn't really have anything on the actual body of the truck. It was just surface rust on the frame. So I got under there with a wire wheel and a full face respirator mask and glasses, and I sat under there and I ground down all that surface rust off of that thing. Got it all cleaned up, grounded off the hog head, ground all the surface rust off of it. Took and put a rubber undercoating on it that it like seals all those pits and pores and stops the rust.
Kind of like truck bed coating.
Yep. Yeah. And I sprayed it down, and there was a guy that came and bought that truck for, I think I can't remember what I had in it, but I think I sold it to him for like 33. And I didn't really. By the time I spent the money on it, because I had to replace some lines, and then the DEF system was bad, so I had to delete it and all that stuff. And by the time I did all that, I don't even think I made. I think I made like, I don't even know if I made $1,500.
Gosh, it wasn't even worth it.
It wasn't even worth it. Because at the time I was like, I thought if I bought it, because it didn't cost me a lot to fix it. But by the time I got it fixed and got all the other stuff into it, like the like $3,000 or $4,000 of extra stuff to fix it. I only kept it for 2 weeks. It was gone. But
it was a quick turnover.
Yeah. That's one thing I could always do. I could sell a car, man. I could sell a vehicle.
That's one thing y'all have always done is bought and sold trucks and stuff.
Oh, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I wanted to start my own car lot.
That's what I told Taylor one time. I was like, if there's a deal to be found, Cody or Coy will find it.
I'm pretty good at finding them. I'll look for them. I can find a pretty quick deal. Oh. That's like my truck out there. The only reason I bought it was a deal. I looked at one just like it a week before, and it was like, I think it was like 48,000. I was like, I'm not giving that for a vehicle. But I had to have one. My other one I done fixed 4 times. I didn't spend a pile of money on it. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I fixed it the last time and fixed it better. Yeah. Spent more money on it the last time than I had in the previous times. And it drove good. But I was like, I'm just going to get rid of it while it's fixed. And I don't have to spend any more money on it.
Yeah.
And so I looked for another one, and I found this one. And the guy was asking like 36, 37. And I told him I'd give him 30. And he said no. And I got him to 32.
It's like, all right, deal.
And so we did the deal on that. And like that day when I brought it home, I had to spend some money on it. I had some check engine light codes on it, nothing crazy. I spent a little bit of money. It wasn't really much at all. And
it's a sharp truck too.
Fixed it, and I could have sold it that afternoon that I got it home and made $3,000. Yeah.
That same day?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. When I bought it, I took it to a body shop or a mechanic
truck
and got it fixed. Oh, I love it. That truck was my dream, like the truck that I wanted. And I wanted one when they first came out. And I was like, I just bought the house when they first came out. I just bought the house. And I was like, I was looking for a truck at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, back then you could get a brand new one for like $39. Think about that. That's crazy.
That is wild to think
now
about,
they're
really.
$80.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And when I seen that one come up, I was like, I've waited for almost 10 years
to get that truck.
To get this truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need a truck. I was like, and I'm not going to deal without buying one. I love maroon. I like maroon. In these, I like either maroon, white, or there's a rare color. If I could have found one, I would have probably paid whatever that they were asking at the time. It's called pepper dust metallic. You never see them. They're extremely rare. It's like a sand dune metallic. And dude, it is the prettiest color on a vehicle that I've ever seen.
I don't know what color that is.
Like I'll show you after we get off the podcast. But like, that maroon one or that pepper dust metallic, and I found one pepper dust metallic, but it had 150,000 miles on it, and they wanted $46,000 for it.
Yeah, you had that maroon. Didn't you have a maroon? Yeah, your Dodge was like maroon too.
I had a half-ton Dodge. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was maroon.
When I was over at your parents' house. I don't know, what was it? Like a week or so ago?
Yeah.
That gray Dodge.
Yeah, Dad's.
Yeah. Me and Hunter took a fan over there to the shop.
Yeah.
Hopped in that truck. I was like, oh, man. Just like old times.
Yeah.
Except, it wasn't a Cummins.
Did you ever... No, I don't guess you did ride the one I had fixed up that I bought back.
No, I never did.
Yeah. It was...
Was it the same exact?
Identical. Just had the Hemi in it. The other one had the 4.7.
Where is your... Do you know where your old truck is?
Probably totaled.
Like wrapped around a tree or something somewhere.
I couldn't. I looked the VIN up on it here a while back. Because I found when I was going through some stuff at my parents' house, I found an old insurance card that had the VIN number.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to Carfax it. So I looked up, I paid the money and I Carfaxed it. And I think it got wrecked. I think it ended up getting totaled.
Oh. Bunch of homeless people had an orgy in the back of it.
Probably. And then I took and sold my other one. Dude, it wasn't what it was when I was 16.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at 16, I thought that was the coolest truck I didn't give anything for it. It was a pile of junk. But it looked good. But it was junk. And I had to put a rear end in it. Had to get the transmission worked on 3 times.
You hit a
cow. Totaled the front end out.
We went everywhere in the truck.
Oh, we went all over, dude. We took so many trips. Like me, I mean, I went to. Oh man, we went everywhere in that thing.
Heck yeah, all the scrap all the time.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good truck
and
good looking truck.
Oh, I thought so, and I found that other one, and I mean, like it brought back so many memories. I went to look at it, and I told the guy, I was like, I'm buying it. I was like, I'm gonna take it. So I bought it.
Like, I don't care what you want for it.
And I had to put a motor in it. The motor was locked up. So I bought it, brought it home, and I drove it. And it was nice because it was nice. It's just I forgot how little the cab was. Because like my new one that I had a 15, and it was a quad cab. And I forgot how tight the cabs were. And I thought that one had more room than the quad cab of the new one.
Yeah.
Well, when I bought it, I put the car seats in there and stuff, and it was super tight. And that's the main reason I sold it. I was like, I can't. So, I mean, I put so much effort into that truck. Like, I cleaned it up. I mean, I freaking done everything. It had the bed topper on it with a carpeted bed. And, like, dude, for Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't ask for better. Going somewhere, like Preston played baseball. Dude, you could throw the cooler, throw all his baseball gear, everything in the bed, get in the cab. There's nothing in the cab but you and me, Kate, and the kids, whatever. Plenty of room, had ice cold air, cruise control, everything worked. Radio was perfect, everything. But like you get in there and get everybody sat in there and you like had to scoot your seat up. And I mean, I was only like 5'10" back then.
Yeah, crammed and whatnot.
And like I could scoot up and like had plenty of room. And now I was like 6'4". I was like, this is not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
And so
it seemed so spacious back then.
Oh, dude, it was
so
roomy. Yeah, we were so small.
Well, I'm probably about the same height.
And I sold it to this wild dude that lives in the woods in like a $60,000 RV. And he called me. I had to go pick him up, and he stole my Powerade as we were going to pay for the vehicle, and he gave me money that was wet. It was suspicious, but I took it. And
I would have taken it.
I sold it to him, and he was like, "This truck don't need nothing." I was like, "Nope." He was like, "Well, my dogs mess everything up." He's like, "When you come pick me up," he's like, "Don't get out." I said, "Do what?" He said, "Don't get out." I mean, dude, I went way back in the woods.
It'll make you nervous.
Yeah. And like all of a sudden you pull up and there's like a freaking $70,000 tractor, a freaking Humvee, like a legit Humvee. It's jet black that looks brand new, and this luxurious like RV.
And it's strange.
Yeah. And if I'll tell you who's. I'll give you the backstory of it off the podcast. But
I think you've told me before, right? I can't remember who it is or nothing, but
he bought it. I took him home, or I took him to the where the truck was parked at, and I picked my truck up, and he took that one on home. And I saw it there a little bit after a while, and I mean it was muddy because where to get back to his place was muddy. So I was like, yeah. And I saw him a while back, and he was at T-Mart. And he had ran that sucker into a tree or something. And the whole front fender was dented in. There was no headlight on that side. The door was bowed in.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, dude.
It makes you sick.
I was like, I wish I wouldn't have sold that to you. That truck was so nice. It would have made a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old.
Oh, for sure.
An excellent truck.
Yeah.
It had like 110,000 miles on it. And the motor literally had 14,000 miles on it. And I mean, it ran like a freaking top. I drove it to Indianapolis and back.
And it sounded
It had
great,
dual
too.
flow masters. It had true dual flow masters on it.
I can still remember it. I can still remember the sound of it. Like it was very distinct.
Yes.
Like you could always tell like it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it made me so sick to see that. And I was like, but I was like, I didn't need it. I mean, you buy it, you do whatever you want with it, but I mean that just killed me. I was like, man, that sucks. I put so much effort in
that. I remember when you were selling it, like I thought so hard about buying it. Yeah. Gosh, I'd love to have it.
I loved that truck, dude. And if it was just me, like I would have kept it. Like, and I did think about keeping it. I thought about keeping my Duramax and trading it off and getting a gas truck. Like my one I had before I have now, I thought about trading it off and getting just like a gas 3/4 ton truck or just a diesel single cab.
Yeah.
So I could like pull with it and put,
I like a good single cab truck too.
I do too. They're slick.
Seems like you don't see a whole.
You don't.
It don't seem.
You don't see hardly any of them. But I was going to keep that Dodge and put my fuel tank in the bed.
Yeah.
Put my air compressor, my portable air compressor in the bed, and put my toolbox in the bed.
Yeah.
And I could pull the headers. I could pull for the combines. I could pull the seed tender. I could literally do everything with it. And I was like, I could still keep it clean. and take the bed topper off, take the bed liner out, and just set everything in the bed and use it day to day. Because that truck, you know, it's in great shape. I was like, I could use it to farm with and still keep it pretty clean, you
Yeah.
know. But I mean, and use the other one to take and do stuff with. But
I want a diesel truck so bad.
yeah,
I have no need for one though.
yeah. That the expense on them is nuts. You know what it cost me to change my oil?
A couple $100 or something.
It's almost $200.
Gosh,
Yeah, insane.
how often you got to change it?
Every 10,000 miles.
Make it
20. And then, like, okay, like, if your emission system messes up, you can either fix it.
Like the DEF system?
Yeah. You can fix it or you can delete it. And that's roughly, either way you go, you're going to be looking around you're looking roughly $8,000.
So you're better off deleting it.
Yeah. Oh, that's deleting it. Yeah. Oh, you're better off to delete it. Yeah, because you spend $8,000. That's the last time you ever have to pull with it.
I feel like that's a scam.
But I do too, because government official vehicles don't have it because they know it's junk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going through freaking Iraq and your emission system limits you to 5 mile an hour?
Oh yeah, nothing we have takes DEF.
Yeah, it's junk. It's absolute junk. But it's just, I don't know. It's just that way. It's ignorance. You use a plastic jug to freaking help the environment.
Yeah. Dude, you know how many times, you know that little Altima I have, a little little beater?
Yeah.
I bought it in like June or July. Yeah, see, I totaled my Civic in like May of 2023. I bought that like the next month off a friend. I've changed the oil one time.
I honestly kind of figured you to buy. I figured you would have bought like a truck by now.
Well, man, I've been thinking about it. Like, and I get the itch sometimes. Like, oh, I want to buy something else.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like, July or August.
Yeah.
Because it has no AC.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, man, I really enjoy not having a payment or anything.
Yeah.
So I'll stick it out. I'll probably drive that car till it blows up or something. Then I'll go get something. But yeah, I've changed the oil one time. Now I always make sure it has oil in it.
Yeah.
But I've changed it one time and it runs great.
Yeah.
Never have any issues.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, I don't ever really have to worry about anybody stealing anything out of my car. If anything, if they park close to me, they worry that I'm going to steal from their car. It looks like something your local crackhead would drive.
Yeah. The whole back end's beat in.
Yeah.
There's a website I'll have to show you. It's a local place that sells cars and trucks, and we bought several from them. And Dad actually just bought. He helped my sister get a car from there.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, and super cheap.
Oh yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah, that's the place. I'll have to show you when we get done.
And that's when I was telling. Well, that's when me and Taylor were having that conversation. I was like, if there's a deal to be had, I was like, one of those two is gonna find it. I was like, I swear, it's always been that way.
Yeah. Yeah. But no,
I've sneezed more this year, and I have.
Oh, dude, pollen's been horrible.
Oh my gosh,
it's been so bad.
I've never really had allergies.
Eyes have been swelled up, and they don't normally do that. Like their eyes get real puffy. Yeah, and like they're sitting there wiping their eyes constantly. They're itching them, and like I've had a real dry throat a lot.
Yeah,
and I never get that. Ever.
Yeah, I have too. I've never had allergies, never struggled with it or nothing.
Yeah,
but this year it's like, gosh.
Yeah,
I
don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. Why it's getting so bad for everybody. It seems like it's everybody.
A lot of crazy stuff in the world right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Supposed Antichrist. You seen that guy? No, I don't think it's I don't think it's obvious. I don't think he's legit. The Almighty.
I don't know.
You never seen?
I don't pay attention to that.
You look at my
because there's these people that are always on there. There's always doomsday people. They're doing it for clicks, obviously.
Yeah.
Because they want to freaking they want to get views. I mean, the more views you get, obviously, the more money you make.
Yeah, this guy makes some wild claims. But my TikTok feed is all about like conspiracy, aliens. Yeah, really about that.
Mine is stupid videos. That's what a lot of mine are.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I know. I would like to have him on here. But he don't. He didn't write me back.
He did not.
What was I gonna look? Ah, dude, I was gonna look something up. We got to talking, and I forgot. I forgot what it was. Maybe it'll come to me. Daggone it.
Did it have to do with aliens?
No.
Do you think aliens come from space?
I think they come from the ocean.
That's what I think. Have you ever heard of like the hollow Earth theory?
No. I've heard of people having hollow heads, but
mine is rather hollow. It talks about like there being an entrance to the Earth, like somewhere around like the North Pole.
Sounds like paradise.
Yeah, and like inside that hole leads to like, forests and trees and stuff and
Earth inside of Earth.
Yeah. Well, it's like you ever wonder like why you can't, like fly over Antarctica or like the North Pole.
Why can't you? I didn't know that was restricted airspace.
Yeah, Antarctica is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, can't fly, or at least like directly over Antarctica. You can't fly over it. And I think the same is true for the North Pole.
I don't understand why. Like what? I mean, there must be some sort of military. I think there's some sort of military thing that's going on in Antarctica.
Oh yeah,
like they've got the scientists down there like studying Antarctica, but I think there's something. Everybody's like there's an ice wall or something.
Yeah.
But you go back, like you look at all these old maps, and they're like, oh, we didn't discover Antarctica till then. You look at any ancient map, like of like mapping out like when they were sailing around trying to find all this one. Like, dude, Antarctica was on there every time.
Yeah, and when it's like you look at these old maps too, and it like looks like there's an ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what was I gonna say? It's fixing to say.
But like Antarctica wasn't always ice. Like it was green.
What's what like Adderall and like talks about, or I don't know, talked about. I think he's dead now. But like he flew over Antarctica and he said like there's more land on the other side of Antarctica. Like I don't know how he explained it. But yeah, there's luscious, trees, green grass, all this stuff on the other side of Antarctica.
Yeah, it's like the Sahara Desert used to be a freaking luscious, like rainforest. Not like a rainforest, but like a habitable place. Like you could live there, grow crops, like have a sustainable life there, and then everything changed. Yeah. And did you see they found those pillars that go way down in the ground underneath pyramids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those pyramids weren't built by people.
Hey, there's no way. Because like not even just like the smaller.
I wonder when you die, if you find out all of life's mysteries.
I'd say you find out a mystery. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Oh, did you hear about the group of scientists, like Russian scientists? Oh, I got some heartburn going on. I wonder why. But it's like this group of like Russian scientists, and I don't know what they done, but like they spent like 10 years researching like cells and stuff, and they were able to like inject something into each cell, like into a person. That way they could track like consciousness somehow. Like they injected something and it injected itself into every cell and it could track your consciousness after you die.
Mm-hmm.
So their very first subject died, of old age, and they were able to track his consciousness, and it wasn't even on Earth. They said it was like so many millions of miles away in another galaxy.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I was a little, yeah, I didn't believe it, but I was like,
How you gonna track?
how can you track something that's not even in your solar system?
Yeah.
But I thought it was
like,
interesting.
how can you track a conscience? Like, you don't even know what a conscience is.
It was like
a
something
conscience,
like a certain part of their brain, or a certain part of your brain, or something.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, but it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah. I don't. That's so weird. Like, that's weird.
But yeah, I don't
That's
know.
weird. That's like extremely weird.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could explain it better. Yeah, it was weird, but it was very interesting. I was like, how can they track that to another planet or galaxy or whatever?
Yeah.
Are you hallucinating?
No. Yeah, I'm reaching. I'm going to that galaxy. No, I was sitting there feeling. I felt like the air got really cold.
Yeah, I can feel
It
it.
did. It got cold. Yeah, it kicked on. I didn't think it was on. I thought it was just on. I didn't know it was actually like picking up actually like running right now. But
Dude, it got chilly the other night.
did you turn your heat on?
No.
Did you really?
No, I said no. It's set to, it stays between 68 and 72. It'll start heating at 68 and it'll start cooling at like 72.
How does it do that?
I got one of those like
Oh, you got one of those nests.
yeah, the Google Nest
Yeah.
thermostat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was about to go kick that heat on because I was getting cold. I'm such a I don't know, I feel like such a not a man because I keep my thermostat rather high.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'd cook, dude.
Even with as much, I figured since I've gained this weight, it's like, yeah, maybe I'll stay hotter, so I'll keep it cooler. Nope, still cold all the time.
I don't know. I don't shoot, man. I can't have.
You hear like some people say, like, oh, my thermostat doesn't stay, stays at like 65. I'm like, you're talking ice age temperatures right there. 65. No way.
I mean, I can't. I mean, our house right now
I can't do
is
it.
the thermostat's reading 66, and it's comfortable.
You're crazy.
Upstairs, and because we left the air on the rest of the time, and it just shut off. It ain't been running the past couple days or whatever.
But I do like
But
it.
like now, this is set on 70, which the basement does kind of get warmer. Which you're coming off which the garage isn't like heated or cooled, so the garage is over on that side. So you do pick up some, like when you open the door, you get some heat coming off. Which the door's open a little bit right now, actually. So, but the heat kind of comes in off of there. But that's what surprised me that was coming on. But like my bedroom, I've got the air set on 68, and I sleep with the fan going full blast. Yeah.
Probably stays that way in the wintertime too.
Stays that way. No. In the winter, I'll set it to, in the winter, I do put it to 68 but on heat.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn the fan on full blast.
Yeah.
I won't have the air running.
Now, I do like to sleep like colder.
Oh, I love
But
to
if like I'm
cool.
just lounging or I'm just sitting in the chair, I do not want to be cold.
I get hot, dude. I get hot quick. Kate's the same way. It's like, if you get up and do something and like it's 68 degrees in the house, you start moving around, you'll start sweating.
Yeah.
And it's like, we cannot handle it. There's been times in the wintertime I've had the wood stove going and the house got warm. It got like to 72, 73, and we ended up like opening the windows.
Really?
Yeah. And it'd be like snow on the ground outside.
Oh, it'd be froze.
You know how nice it is to come in there and have your floors super warm and walk in there and it'd be like a chilly, dude. That's like orgasmic.
Now that would be nice.
Yeah.
But
if I were to ever build a new house and didn't put a basement in it, I would build it on a slab and I would put in-floor radiant heating in it.
Oh yeah,
For sure. There's
Yeah.
nothing nicer than a warm floor. But if that got a leak in it, boy, oh boy, you are screwed.
be in trouble then.
Yeah.
When I've worked in like the coldest of cold too, sweet, and I still hate it. Hated it then.
Yeah. I can't stand cold weather.
No.
I mean, I can get by in it, but I mean, it doesn't kill me. But I, obviously, if I have my choice, I would rather work in the hot time of the year than I would the cold time. There's nothing worse than freaking, oh man, like it's like 10 degrees outside, and then you got to go up there like for cattle, and you got to go bust ice, and then you're like having calves, and you got to go up there and like you've got to go and get the vet out here. You got to pull the calf most of the time. I mean, sometimes you don't have to, but if it's like heifers and you get unlucky and they are calving for the first time, you try not to do that. But sometimes you buy them and they're bred to calve then, so then you're kind of screwed. But they'll calve, they'll hit the ground, they're gonna freeze to death. You got to go up there and get some. I always try and roll out hay because the cows will if it's going to be kind of cool at night because the cows will have the babies on the hay. They'll always 95% of the time 95% of the time they'll go over to the hay. They won't ever have them somewhere. In my experience, that might just be me. I might just get lucky, but yeah, they've always had them on that
That's
hay.
cool. They know to.
Yeah, and the calf would because it's impossible. It's impossible to get every cow up when they're gonna calve. I mean, it's impossible because it's like
get it up,
get it up to the barn and put it up.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you'll think they're gonna calve and you'll put it up and you'll keep them in there for a week and they won't calve and you'll let them out and 2 days later they'll calve. It's just hard to time it. I mean, because you can't, but most of the time you just keep a check on them. Like you just go out there and you check them every day when you know they're going to calve, and then that way you can usually catch them.
Yeah.
But they'll usually like I'll look for a new calf, and I'm like I'll always go to the hay first, and sure enough, they'll have them. They'll like be in the hay, and the mamas will take their nose and like drag hay up, like
yeah.
And I went over and looked. I went over and looked for. I couldn't find them, and they had that calf like literally hunkered down in the hay, and I was just happened to see a black speck in the hay. And that's the only reason I called it.
Baby.
Yeah,
that's crazy. They know to do that.
I had one.
I guess it's like a motherly instinct thing.
Yeah, I had one that had twins, and she got down. She couldn't move. It was in this real rainy, cold weather back a little bit ago.
Too, when it's cold and raining.
Yeah, and I tried getting her to the barn before she was getting, because I knew she was going to calve. She could still move. Yeah. So I tried getting her to the barn, and I got her halfway there, and she just fell. Something wasn't right. I think she got bit by a tick. Is what happened, and she had 2 calves. Pulled them both. They were both alive, both bull calves. Put them in the barn. Put her in the barn. Tried to lift her up, and make her stand up. She was pretty strong the first 2 days, and then she started doing. After the first 2 days, she started doing that like deep, like painful moan. And I was like, she's gonna die. And I just kept trying to give her. I done gave her everything I could give her, and she passed away that morning. Well, the calves, one of them had a messed up leg, so I put a stent on it. And the other one, he was up running around, jumping, playing. Like the kids would go up there and chase around with him in the barn. He was super energetic, and he was good. And he would take a bottle every day. He was good. And then his little brother there, he had that broken leg. Well, I would stand him up. Well, he got to where he was standing up, walking around, and I ended up taking the stent off, and he was moving and everything. And like, he started going backwards. And they lived for like 9 days. And like the next day I went up there, that other one, he was just laying around, just flopping around. I was like, he's going to die. And I don't know why he's going backward. And I done gave him a shot, gave him everything I could. And then the other one, Pierce was up there like running around playing with him. I went up there the next morning to feed them, and they were both dead.
What?
Yeah, both of them. And it got real cold that night. And I mean,
that's what it was.
I had hay. I had them all. I had them in a barn. There was no wind blowing on them, but I think they both ended up. I think they probably froze to death.
gosh.
And I don't want. There was nothing more you could do. I mean, I had hay stacked up like that thick. Like, so when they laid in it, like it was like bundling them up, like doing everything I could. I put them in the barn to block them from the wind. There wasn't any snow. Nothing could get on them. But that's just it. It is what it is sometimes. You can't save them all. It's just like people. You can't save them all.
No. It sucked doing all that in the cold, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But part of the job, I guess. I mean, it's... I don't know, man. I don't know. It sucks.
Can't save them all.
No, you can't.
It's like your dad was saying. Well, when he was up there milking that, Taylor was milking that cow.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You could have a good cow, like strong cow, and then next thing you know, she'll fall over dead.
Mm-hmm.
So you got one that's dragging across the pasture. She'll live for 10 years.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, why can't she die?
Yeah, good woman, good strong on plow."
Oh man.
Well, golly, how long has that been? An hour and 41 minutes.
Hour and 41.
Seem real. Doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, I don't.
It seems like we've been doing this for 15 minutes.
I know it's water
right there. But I think that's a good one to come back off of.
Yeah.
And that's
hopefully we can get more into a normal routine.
I'm hoping.
Get back to it.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we can. Everything's kind of slowed down a little bit, so I'm hoping we can get back to it. Get another one done and get back to the how it was. Like, try to keep up the pace for y'all. I mean, because we got on a roll there for a little bit. Like, we were really starting to see a lot of engagement and all that stuff. And I know it's going to go down now because we've waited. The way to keep that going is to keep it.
Yeah, keep on posting
going,
and stuff.
Keep engaging. But
that's the thing. We're just normal people. We don't get to do this, for a living yet.
Yeah.
We need all of you to donate $5,000.
Mm-hmm. If 1 million of you donate $5 a piece, we can do this for a living.
We can do this every day.
Then wouldn't you like that?
I feel like that's not too much to ask.
I don't either. But we'll see one day.
One day.
But I don't know. I don't know.
We definitely appreciate you guys.
Yep. We appreciate you guys listening and liking our TikToks, watching, viewing the profiles, looking at the YouTube, listening to the podcasts on there, watching the shorts, all that stuff. Just keep doing it. Keep up doing that. I know it really does. It boosts our videos to more people. And we've seen a lot more of that here recently. It kind of went through a dry spell, and I really don't know why. And we never really could figure out why, because we went from getting, not a lot, but for this, it was quite a few views and likes and stuff like that and comments on posts. And then after we got 14 or 15 posts, it literally just died off. And it was almost like it just dulled out. And then now it's come back. I don't know, but I'm hoping maybe we can, where it's been a little bit, maybe we'll see what
this will help.
We'll see what these clips kind of do from the podcast and whatnot, and see how that does. But
don't give up on us.
Yeah, don't give up on us, please.
Yep, share, subscribe. We need you so bad.
But share it with everybody you know.
Some you don't.
Yep, go to a random homeless man.
And give him your phone.
Ask him how many sides of triangles got and why is he not listening to the fifth take. Thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you in the next one.
See you next time.